give us a signal. Right.
Well,
Okay. It is 1 o'clock. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Ethics Commission of the town of Chesapeake Beach. The entire membership of the meeting is present, as is our clerk. And not present is our legal counsel. That's by arrangement. I will get to the background a little bit later. We have an item on the agenda where I'll raise that. The meeting is now in session, and following tradition, we will start with a Pledge of Allegiance. Justice to all. The first agenda item is the approval of the agenda. The agenda has been distributed. Are there comments or objections?
no.
No. It's agenda is unanimously approved. The next item is approval of the minutes of the most recent Ethics Commission meeting, which was on January 23rd. The minutes have been distributed to everybody. Are there any comments or objections to the? Okay, minutes have been approved. Relating to the minutes, there is an agenda item. It is item 2, introduction of new council. New council has been appointed, but is not present. We have we had a discussion, and you will find on the agenda item, I think it's in item 4, that presentation or some remarks by council about our work in progress, a draft of the proposed amendments to the ethics ordinance, and also any comments, if we should have any, on the text that we distributed to the public officials who are obligated to file public disclosure statements. Council wrote in response to that, and then let me read it. Here's what Skip wrote. I think commenting on the substance of the documents, that the ones I mentioned, is for the town's attorney. My role is to help you there, meaning here, if a substantive ethics issue before the committee, and you are applying the ethics law and not to act as legislative counsel to the Ethics Commission.
So read the last part again, please. The last part.
Yeah.
Okay, or yeah, I can have it. Thank you.
Yes, can you read it again while you have it? Yeah, please.
I'll
So I can read
show
it. A good question. I think, is this it? Yeah. I think commenting on the substance of the documents is for the town's attorney. My role is to help you if there is any substantive ethics issue before you applying the ethics law, not to act as legislative counsel to the ethics commission. So as I understand it, then he basically says that it's not his role to
somebody else.
review or propose amendments.
Now, looking at our, we have in this year so far, we have not had to confront any substantive issue about applying the ethics to a particular situation. In the prior year, we had 3 situations where people came to us with complaints. And in each of these cases, after studying the matter, we had to conclude that the matter complained of is outside the scope of the ethics ordinance. There are many things one could say about it, beginning with, what is the rationale and the purpose of this ordinance as it applies to a small municipality like this town. Now, everybody knows that there are 2 things that have been mandated by the state of Maryland. One is that we have to have an ethics ordinance substantially comparable to that one that applies to state officials. And there's a very little scope of variation that is left to the discretion of the legislative judgment of the town council. And in the situation we had to confront in the past, we had to say, this is not addressed by the ordinance, and therefore we have no competence or powers or authority to make a substantive determination. I believe we all were of the opinion that the complaints were they were not fanciful. These were genuine grievances, but nothing that is covered by the ethics ordinance. And that is only background. This is simply a statement of the environment in which we operate. Now, getting back to council's view of his role and our role, I showed this piece of paper I gave you. I showed it to the mayor, and I suggested that what council wrote us is probably based on his or his firm's contract, engagement letter, or some such title that he has with the town. And I don't know what it says, and I'm not sure. I should go to the town administrator and say, let me read it. We can take council's own words of what his assignment is. So, and that takes care of
D. Or C.
Or C, yes, that's what I was looking for. Of the Ender, these two items are, presentations by council, will not be out of our proceedings.
Peter, if I may add to your summary, considering the fact that we had 3 complaints in front of us last year and we were unable to address those, even though it appeared that some of them may have been ethical issues, that was the genesis
I think someone's
of
trying to get it,
us
Sharon.
discussing the need to expand our ordinance as such,
Now.
so that ethical issues can be in fact addressed, which we have since, through our updates, we have addressed that in a way that the proposed ordinance would have the jurisdiction, if you will, for the commission, at least to express an opinion on those issues and to the council, to the town council. And considering the fact that one of those complaints was from the current mayor, I would think that there is some appetite in terms of saying that, well, even from your perspective, before you became mayor again, this commission was the body for you to bring that grievance to. And that's really one of the reasons that we have gone through and addressing that. So, and we have done a lot of work, and we have put a lot of effort in coming up with something that seemed to be pretty solid in terms of an ethic ordinance. And I guess with that background, I'm wondering what is the next step that you or the mayor suggested for handling the
Those type
draft?
of issues, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The mayor didn't comment at all, and I didn't ask for his suggestion. But what we have to do, I think, is take a step back. We thought that we were getting close to the point where we could put the revised ordinance to the council, first to the town administration and eventually to council, which has to approve or disapprove it. But I think we have to take a step back and focus first on this particular issue, that is the scope of the competences and the role of this commission. I think that the state would allow us to broaden the scope beyond that which applies to state officials. So that is open. This is the question I would put to council, based on the fact that he or his firm represents quite a large number of municipalities. I would like to them, do any of those have ordinances which broaden the scope and the coverage of the minimum that is required by the state. It would be worth knowing, if other towns did it, it would provide some kind of moral justification that we consider it legitimate and maybe do the same. On the other hand, if other municipalities have seen fit to stay within the boundaries set by the state's mandate, then I think we should think twice and say, maybe that's the better part of wisdom. The other major thing which I think we should discuss separately with the town administration, and it has been done so far, and I take the blame for that, in an incomplete and unfocused fashion, and that is the determination of the persons who would be subject to the public disclosure statement.
So if I interrupt, that to me, the second item is a fairly minor part of a bigger thing that we're talking about, which is the broadening the ordinance. And with all due respect, I'm not sure if we need justification to be the first to be more progressive and say that our ethics ordinance needs to be ethics ordinance, not a ordinance for disclosure statements, which is what it is now.
Which is how we've worked, exactly.
And that has created this confusion, frankly, for the public, that we have an ethics commission, but any ethical issues that come in front of the ethics commission are rejected by saying that we can't do anything about it. So that's the real issue. And I'm not sure if we need to take the extra step to see if anybody else has done it. We can be the first and establish this is really a model.
Set our own ground rules, yeah.
Yeah, this is the model ethics ordinance for the state of Maryland. Maybe some other jurisdictions say, wow, look at Chesapeake Beach. They have done a fantastic job. We want to copy that.
Possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I would hate to, as you know, I'm not going to be any longer on this commission, but I would hate for the effort that is put into it and the good work that has been put into it to disappear, because there was a good justification for doing that work. We didn't just create that work because we wanted to create work. Right. We felt a need by being present here and people coming in front of us, and basically our response was that, sorry, we can't do anything.
I think anybody would agree that if you have something styled ethics ordinance, it ought to deal with ethics.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That's very basic. Exactly.
So, I disagree with what you said about identifying the people who have to make public disclosures. I would like to see that number narrowed.
I agree with. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
We have worked out a set of criteria, and I think that is a very good working piece of paper. That it's very workable, and I did a rule of thumb analysis myself and went through the very long roster of people who have to file these disclosure statements. And numerically, the largest number are people comparable to us, the members of the various town committees. They're altogether about close to 30 individuals. And we have found a little reluctance or lack of enthusiasm by people to do that. It's a burden. And I'm also mindful of what the mayor told me and the previous mayor said, that it is difficult to find volunteers to serve in these capacities. So if we have, if the pool of those who would be required to make these disclosures, if that can be narrowed, I think that might be worth discussing. And this commission, I think, should revisit this question and maybe have some more thought and discussions about it.
To just clarify, Peter, I'm in complete agreement with you that narrowing the scope of who needs to file disclosures and prevent burdening people who really should not be burdened by going through filing this disclosure is extremely important. What I meant to say, that to me is part of the whole revision, to say that we have worked on this, and this, as you say, we have come up with a set of criteria. We didn't come up with the names, but a criteria that a town manager can take on, and based on that criteria, say who should go.
Well, if I think we all very recently completed our own disclosure statements, and myself, I live a simple life. I only had one of these extra schedules to fill out. But I asked myself at each why is it important to know, for the public to know, when my wife and I acquired the house we live in? Now, there's something that people meeting in the street or at dinner, readily talk about. We have been in this house for 30 years, things like this. And that is of, interest to friends and neighbors. But what does it have to do with the conduct of that person in performing its official functions? And maybe there is a good reason. Maybe we should simply defer to the wisdom of the state legislators who created these categories, although we are, as Americans, we are entitled to be a little bit rebellious against authority.
Yes.
And I suffer from that condition but that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is the considerations that concern ethical conduct at the state level are somewhat different than they are in a small community like this. Many people, actually do know each other, or there are not 6, but only 2 or 3 steps of separation. So I think we can probably conclude this at this point. It's a shame we won't have you with us anymore, because you have an excellent ability to sort of take the broad view,
Yes.
the higher view.
Thank you.
But we will muddle through.
To echo what you said, I filled out my disclosure, and you have a copy of that. And I felt like the changes we have made and the electronic changes that are made, they have made it a lot easier to do. I did point out a little bit of annoying thing that you had. You first say which schedule is applicable to you, and then at the end it asks you again. what is scheduled. Well, I already said that, and I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to say everything is true. So why do I need to go through that twice?
Yeah,
Well, that would.
No, I think the paperwork we came up for this year, it's pretty good.
It's very good. Yeah, it's very
It
good.
was a bit redundant at
And
the
it's,
end.
It's a bit
really
redundant, but yeah.
Not overly burdensome to sit down for most people. Most of them have nothing to fill out except the real property schedule.
Mhm, right.
And every filer lives in town except one official, I think she has two titles. One is town planner and was it code official?
Code enforcer?
Oh,
Zoning administrator, okay.
so can we move to the next agenda item, whatever it might be?
I think we were just talking about item B under agenda number 4 about the disclosure. And again, our conversation about the fact that the form is now much easier to fill out doesn't take away the point you made earlier that still we should not subject people unnecessarily to fill out the form.
Yes, that is, it's easy enough and not time consuming to do it, but it still raises the questions, why do they want to know this?
And as you said, there may be good reasons, if you have a property and there is a zoning issue next to your property, maybe that person should recuse themselves for that particular discussion because they have a vested interest. But generally speaking, yeah.
Not that necessary.
And we covered item C, so
You can,
D.
Excuse me. Do we want to, going back to item B, do we want to officially approve
The form.
the disclosure?
Sharon, if I may ask, Sharon is asking, in item B, one of the things we need to do is approve the form. Are we going to approve it or not? There is an equivalent paper copy of this for those who choose to fill it out paper or no?
Well, they can.
They can.
They can.
I see. Okay.
If they fill it out, will they have to print it out or can they come into the office and
They
pick
can
up?
come and get
Okay.
a copy.
So I'm good with the form.
I am too, yeah.
Yeah.
That suffice, Sharon?
item,
Would that suffice? Okay, good deal.
Peter, we are approving the form? Are
uh,
we approving the form as is?
yes, I think we do. It would be sigh of relief. It would be awkward if we disapproved the
Right.
form. Yeah, okay. I think we have covered everything. Mentioned council's position. Item 6, forthcoming changes of the membership. This is just a matter of putting it on the record. We have one resignation, which will become effective in 5 days. And, again, for the record, I think the commission appreciates and thanks the departing member for his contribution. Personally, I think they were, very valuable.
And you will be missed. And you will
Thank
be
you very
missed.
much. And it really has been a pleasure to work with all of you and you, Sharon. And yeah, it was very much a pleasure.
Another forthcoming change of internal matters is that I have concluded that I have to put down my marshal staff as chair of this commission. I already talked to my colleague about it the last time,
Yes.
and I explained it to the mayor. The reason is I'm simply getting too old and mentally feeble. I keep getting forgetful. Have other scenes, other indications of declining mental acuity. It's somewhat embarrassing to have to say that in public, but of course, everybody who deals with me can tell, Dad, you're getting old. I think I may have mentioned already. I explained this to the mayor. He wasn't happy, and he wants to talk to you, Greg. So,
Sure.
in fact, the mayor
would schedule some time with him.
is fun to talk to.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
So for the moment, nothing will change. And that gets us to the end, near the end. We have to schedule the next meeting. And can we do that, or shall we postpone that decision to a later date?
I think we can do it now, probably.
Sorry, I always do that. That was a junk phone call. And I'm getting calls twice a day for at least the last 2 weeks.
Is it the same number?
Yes.
You can block him.
They want to wear me down so I buy something from them, I think.
You can block him. Block him so they don't
Yeah,
go through.
I'd do this. But I'm on a warpath with this machine. So, Greg, what do you think? Should we just pick a date?
Pick a date now, and maybe by then we'll have a new member as well. Maybe our council will be here as well. So, yeah.
We will. I see nothing on the horizon. I mean, we'll be reviewing the disclosure statements. In the past, it's basically our faithful cleric, and myself who have been doing that. Greg, I would like to lasso you in and basically give you a portion of the
Yes.
file
Mm-hmm.
and say, please go through it. Is it complete? Are there questions or objections? Most of it we have. I cannot readily recall where somebody actually outright objected to something, with one exception, and that is something we have already remedied. On at least we have put the town on the way to a remedy. It's a question that's still on the existing ordinance about the disclosure by where a position is filled by a firm, which applies to the lawyers and the engineer and sometimes the zoning consultant. And the way it reads is in those cases, the disclosure has to be made by the firm itself rather than by the individual who has been designated to actually be the laboring oar. And in the past, we have fudged this a little bit because the lawyers simply flat out refuse to answer certain questions literally the way they were asked. What is your financial consideration that you received from your involvement with municipalities? And I see their reasoning because lawyers don't disclose things like that. For a variety of reasons, ranging from competitive considerations, which may be petty but very important, to ethical ones. Lawyers are subject to the ethical rules of the bar associations. And those are strident, and they must be obeyed, and they are extensive and detailed and ancient, which, by the way, is one reason why I would advocate that the town council and special council like ours should not be subject to the town's ethics disclosure requirements, because they are already under their own professional regime of ethics and enforcement, and that should be enough to keep our lawyers on the straight and narrow.
Okay.
But that's something I should say again when we deal with this subject for the next time, the final time. But I have nothing more on regarding the disclosure statements. And did you come up with a date? No?
Yeah, May.
Sometime in May, whatever date we come up with, I may go home and change it, and have to change it because I have my left eyeball coming up, and as well as various other medical things. Doctor appointments are ones that one
All right, how about a
doesn't lightly
tentative
wish to
May 18th?
reschedule.
May 18th. May 18th.
May
18th?
18. And the time of day, I think, is convenient as always. Anything else? Members of the public? Comments? No comments from members of the. Any comments from?
Peter, we'll miss Farhad, won't we?
Well, thank you very much. Again, it was a pleasure to work with all of you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you. And you as well, yes.
Maybe occasions will arise that we'll meet again and can have an adult beverage.
Yes.
That would be nice. That would, I may come in front of the commission, an ethical reason, not just kidding.
Now we get it. Now we get it. We are adjourned.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sharon.
I hope to see you around.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I do. I would.
Good to know you through this
I would-
process. And you do a great job in.
And again,
leading
thank
this.
you, and who knows? We will-
Absolutely. It's a small town. Let's
Yes.
remember.
Yeah, yeah.